The biting cold wind of a Detroit winter whipped violently against the glass of an old gas station on 8 Mile Road, where heavy trucks occasionally roared past like starving wild beasts. But the most terrifying sound at that moment was not the roar of truck engines, but the deadly silence enveloping 5 jet-black heavy motorcycles that had just skidded to a halt in front of the convenience store. 5 massive men stepped down, their thick leather jackets adorned with skull and crossbones patches, their heavy boots stomping on the cracked concrete, creating a sound of authority and underground violence that made anyone present hold their breath and lower their heads to avoid eye contact. Inside a rusty sedan parked at pump number 4, Leo, a 7-year-old boy with large, round eyes, pressed his face against the steam-fogged window, his heart pounding as he witnessed a mysterious, dark figure crouching and doing something shady underneath those monster machines the moment the biker group stepped inside to buy coffee. The boy wanted to scream, but his throat was choked with fear, until the group of giants returned, the dry clicking sound of keys being inserted into ignitions echoing through the quiet space, signaling a bloody tragedy about to unfold right before his eyes. If you believe that courage does not depend on size and that true heroes can appear in the smallest forms, hit the subscribe button right now to join us in this deeply moving story. Elena shuddered as she pulled up the collar of her worn-out wool coat, her hands trembling not only from the bone-chilling cold of the Canadian border region, but also from the anxiety weighing heavily on the shoulders of a single mother who had lost her job at a food packaging plant 3 weeks ago. In her wallet at this moment was a meager $18 and a few loose coins, an amount she had painstakingly calculated to split between gas for a job interview and a modest dinner for her small son sitting huddled in the back seat. The 2005 Toyota groaned wearily every time she stepped on the gas, exactly like her own life right now. A long, dragging sequence of overdue bills, debt collection letters plastered all over her door, and the pitying looks of neighbors. Leo, a 7-year-old son who was heartbreakingly understanding, never asked his mother to buy toys or candy when they went to the supermarket. The boy possessed a keen observation skill inherited from his late father, who was the best mechanic in this suburb before a scaffolding accident took him away forever. Elena glanced at her son through the rearview mirror, seeing Leo staring intently out the window with an unusually tense expression. She intended to ask if he was hungry, but then swallowed the words, knowing the boy's answer of no would just be a sweet lie to keep his mother from worrying. The threat of being evicted from their shabby rental apartment at the end of this month still hung over the mother and son like a sharp knife, leaving Elena with no mind to notice the unusual movements taking place on the other side of the vast parking lot. While Elena was busy counting every drop of gas flowing into the tank with a troubled mind, Leo still did not take his eyes off the man wearing a gray hoodie pulled tight over his head, moving swiftly between the row of motorcycles belonging to the Iron Guardians, the notoriously fierce Iron Guardians whom the neighborhood kids often whispered terrifying stories about. The stranger had no intention of stealing the bikes or pilfering items. He crouched low to the ground, his right hand holding a pair of specialized cable cutters glinting with the cold light of metal, and with a chillingly decisive motion, he brought the cutters to the brake line of the first bike and squeezed hard. Snap! A tiny sound drowned out by the wind, but Leo saw the cable severed, dangling like a dead snake, and then the man quickly crawled to the second bike, then the third, repeating that deadly act of sabotage skillfully and ruthlessly. Leo's tiny heart beat so hard it felt like it would burst through his chest. Memories of the mechanical lessons his dad had taught him came flooding back, and he knew exactly what that wire was, and what terrible thing would happen if those bikes sped off on this icy highway without being able to stop. Around the gas station, a few other customers also saw the strange action, but they chose to look away, pretending to check their phones or hurriedly driving off because no one wanted to get involved in trouble with a motorcycle gang or reckless vandals. Elena had just finished tightening the gas cap. She wearily opened the car door to get in when she saw that Leo had unbuckled his seatbelt at some point, the boy's eyes wide with panic, staring straight at the group of bikers walking out of the store with hot cups of coffee in their hands, their booming laughter echoing across the desolate lot. The saboteur in the gray hoodie had already managed to slip away behind the building, leaving the scene with 5 death machines whose safety systems had been disabled, ready to kill their owners the moment they twisted the throttle. "Stop! Don't start the engines!" Leo's frantic scream tore through the frigid air. Ignoring his mother's weak protest, the boy burst out of the car door, darting like an arrow toward the group of large men who were preparing to put on their helmets. The leader of the group, a giant nearly 2 meters tall, nicknamed Titan, with a heavily scarred face and a thick beard, froze with a scowl, his hand still resting loosely on the handlebars of his glossy black Harley-Davidson. Elena, terrified, dropped her purse and rushed after her son, her mind filled with the worst-case scenario that her little child would be swatted away by that fierce man or, worse, punished for daring to cause a disturbance. Leo panted as he stopped in front of Titan, spreading his arms wide to block the front of the bike. His voice young but full of determination. "Mister, the brake lines were cut. I swear, I saw him do it." Titan narrowed his eyes at the boy, his initial anger gradually turning into suspicion. He signaled for his cohorts to check, and when a member crouched down to inspect the undercarriage, his face turned pale as he looked up and nodded to confirm the horrifying truth. The atmosphere around them seemed to freeze, the tension escalating to the extreme when Titan realized they had just escaped death by a hair's breadth thanks to the courage of a strange child. Just then, the engine of a silver sedan roared from behind the gas station. The saboteur, realizing his plan was exposed, slammed on the gas to flee. But he had underestimated the reaction of the Iron Guardians. 2 support motorcycles that hadn't had their brake lines cut arrived just in time and dashed out to block the path, forcing the perpetrator's car to crash into a pile of scrap cardboard boxes, ending the cowardly escape right there. Elena hugged Leo tightly, tears streaming down her face in fear, trembling as she apologized to Titan for her son's abruptness. But the giant slowly removed his sunglasses, revealing deep, emotional eyes. He knelt on one knee to be at eye level with Leo, his massive, rough hand resting gently on the boy's shoulder. "Little guy, you didn't just save my life," Titan said with a surprisingly warm voice, completely contrary to his rugged appearance. "You just saved all our families, because if we had met with an accident today, 5 families would have lost a father, a husband." It turned out, behind those tough leather jackets and scary exteriors, were men who were the pillars of their families, people who were on their way home after a volunteer shift at the local orphanage. The Detroit police arrived 15 minutes later to take the saboteur into custody, a henchman from a rival gang trying to incite a war over turf. But the story didn't end there as Titan looked at the battered car and Elena's anxious face. He immediately understood the mother and son situation through the keen observation of a man who had been through all the ups and downs of life. Instead of just saying a hollow thank you, Titan invited the mother and son to Mama Rosa, a nearby family diner where the group often gathered, and ordered a lavish feast with hot dishes that Leo had probably not tasted in a very long time. When Elena hesitantly refused out of embarrassment, Titan spoke solemnly. "You are not accepting charity. This is repayment. The law of the Iron Guardians is that a blood debt must be paid in blood. But a debt of kindness must be paid with the whole heart." During the meal, upon learning that Elena was unemployed and struggling with life, Titan pulled a business card from his chest pocket, for the largest auto repair shop in the city, which he owned, and simultaneously pledged to sponsor Leo's tuition fees until high school graduation. Not only that, to ensure the safety of the mother and son from the rival gang's retaliation, the Iron Guardians assigned people to rotate patrols around Elena's rental apartment for a whole month until the situation calmed down. From prejudiced strangers, they became silent guardians, kind uncles in the life of Leo and his father, who lacked fatherly love. The warmest moment was at the farewell, when Titan bent down to give Leo a tiny guardian pin removed from his own jacket, pinned it to the boy's coat, and said, "Now you are part of the team. Whenever you need us, just call, and we will come." Elena looked at her son, smiling radiantly, a happy smile she thought had been lost long ago, and she understood that kindness sometimes appears in the roughest forms. Life is like a book where the cover sometimes does not reflect the content within the written pages. We often rush to judge others by the clothes they wear, by the tattoos on their skin, or by the vehicles they drive, only to unintentionally miss the beautiful souls hidden behind that rough exterior. The courage of little Leo proved that a hero does not necessarily have to wear a cape or possess superpowers. A hero is simply someone who dares to speak up amidst a silent crowd, who dares to act when others turn their backs. And the repayment from the Iron Guardians reminds us of the magical law of cause and effect in life, that when you sow a seed of kindness, no matter how small, you will harvest an entire forest of trees to provide shade for your life during stormy times. If this story about Leo's courage and the chivalry of these rough bikers has touched your heart, please help us spread this warm flame by sharing the video with your loved ones. Don't forget to leave a comment below. If you were Leo, would you have enough courage to run out and stop them? And hit the subscribe button for Kindness Stories 365 today, so you don't miss the next stories of kindness.